Hello. I just came back from one of the best nights ever. I went to the Video Games Live concert, orchestra concert, at the Palais in St Kilda in Melbourne, and I love music from video games and computer games like so much. Like I always listen to like music from like Commodore 64 and you know games like Final Fantasy and Zelda and all that kind of stuff. I love it so much, and I've always wanted to hear it played by an orchestra. I always because I heard that they sometimes do that, and I've been kind of hanging out waiting for like Melbourne Symphony Orchestra to do like Final Fantasy or something like that or things like that. And a few weeks or months ago, I can't remember, I went to Oz Comic Con and you get like this bag whenever you go, and in the bag there's all this advertisement stuff. And when I got home after doing it, I was just taking out the advertisement, just looking at them and just throwing them out, just And then I came across one that said video games live concert, and it was like a free code to like get like a discount or something, or I don't know what it was, I can't remember, but the main thing was that it made me aware that there was a video games concert orchestra being played by an orchestra coming up, and I was like, oh, I gotta go to this. I really have to go to this, and so I wanted to go, and so I decided to go actually. And I asked my sister, and she asked Jeff as well, but he couldn't make it. But luckily, she could go, and so tonight we went, and it was amazing. Like, I was geeking out to the max. It was so much fun. Like, the guy who created it or something like that. He composes music for video games, and he said like his reasoning behind it was something like he wanted to expose. Oh, I don't worry. Like he said something about exposing kids who love video game music to like the orchestra and things like that, and also um trying to get exposure to video game music to show that it's actually really art and like really really good and stuff like that, things like that. And it was such a fun vibe. Like he said at the start like if you hear like a song you like to shout out or whatever, it's not like a thing where you have to be really quiet and reserved and stuff. Like it was amazing. It was so much fun. It was really really fun. Like they have all these clips that were really funny throughout, and um, most of the songs that I wanted to hear, I got to hear, which was amazing. Like, um, okay, I'm just gonna list a couple. They had Street Fighter. I didn't even like that. I didn't even think of that, but when they played it, I was like, yes, this is so cool. They played like Ryu, Ken, and Guile's themes and stuff. It was so good. Um, they had, they also had like some stuff that I didn't know like the music to, but it was really good. Like Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. Mega Man was good. Actually, all the songs were really good. Actually, and then they had like Mass Effect, which was really cool. Um, a lot of stuff, and they had like a montage from like the early days, like from Pong to later on and stuff like that. That was really really cool. And funnily enough, I recognized so many of the games. It's like I must have spent a lot of time playing games as a kid, and I was thinking to myself, I'm really happy that I did. Like at the time when you're a kid, like you used to play games a lot, and I remember I'm pretty sure my parents were like they didn't want me to play games all the time. They just let me play. They wanted me to study stuff, which I did as well. But like the time I spent playing games, I'm really happy with that time actually. I'm really glad. I was really glad I grew up in this generation of where like games are a thing. Like and people love it. People actually love these games. It's amazing. It's really really awesome. And then so they finished intermission with Legend of Zelda, which was amazing, so good. And then after the second half, it just went nuts from there. It was amazing. What did they play? The one that got me, that I was hoping they would play, was World of Warcraft, and they did. They played it. Kingdom Hearts as well. They played Kingdom Hearts. When they put on Kingdom Hearts, that was awesome. I was like, yes, because I recently played that because my friend Cam and Megan told me that I should play it, and I did. It was awesome. And then they played the World of Warcraft music, and I swear, ever since the game came out in 2004, I bought the special edition of that game, and it came with a CD soundtrack, and I have left that in my car ever since then. Like it's always in my car. So whenever I have nothing to listen to and I want to listen to a CD, it's basically usually that CD, and I never get tired of it because the songs have so much nostalgia for me because of having played the game. And then today I got to hear it in uh, played by an orchestra. A song from World of Warcraft. I think it's the one from Iron Forge or something like that. But it's one of the earlier songs on the soundtrack, and so good. And they had the intro clip to it. I think it's maybe just the music that goes with the intro clip. I'm not sure, but it's so good. I love World of War, and they had a choir as well. And these people are just from Melbourne. Like the choir and orchestra that they found were from Melbourne, and like it's amazing. And the choir sounded so good. Just hearing it live, like it was epic. I was like having a life event, like bucket list ticked off. Just I was like grinning from ear to ear when Warcraft was on, because I love that music so much. And after World of Warcraft, they had Skyrim, which was like amazing song. It's like so good. And the thing that got me was the voices were incredible. Like especially first of all the song is incredible, but the voices themselves were incredible. The rah 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 whatever. Whoa, it was amazing with the voices. And then they followed up with all sorts of stuff. I can't remember it now, but it was really really good. So then there was Street Fighter and all that stuff. And then after they played Halo, that was epic. That was good. And then they finished. They said, "Okay, thanks a lot, guys," and they walked off. And then everyone started continue clapping. And then there was this continue sign. You know how like when you play arcade games, there's like a please continue, and there's like a countdown. So for the encore, they did that. They came back out, and then they said uh they talked about Final Fantasy, and then they said that there was a recently announced Final Fantasy VII HD remake, and so they got to play a song from that, and I'm so happy because that's the Final Fantasy song that I love the most, and I really wanted to hear a song from that being played by an orchestra, and they played One Wing Angel, which is Sephiroth's theme, and it was amazing as well. I really like Aerith's theme, but they didn't play that, but it's okay. I can live with that. It was awesome, and then after that, it was I thought it was over. I was done. I was like, I heard my Final Fantasy. I'm really happy. And then they played Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross music, which I totally forgotten about. But how good is the music from those games, and especially Chrono Cross, very very nostalgic for me because I love the song that they played. Time Scar was from the intro. I must have watched that a zillion times. That intro, oh, so good. So that's how it was so good. And okay, and also just the audience was so good because they he said before the okay he said something about do you guys like love Disney, and yeah, and then he goes, do you guys love Square Enix? And then as soon as he said those two companies together, everyone was like, we know what song's up next. And then he goes, okay, so I'm going to count to three and you tell me the title of the song. He goes, one, two, three, and everyone just shouted Kingdom Hearts. It was like, it was like this is the right audience for to be attending a video games orchestra. It was awesome, so much fun. And okay, one of the highlights, probably one of the definitely highlights of the thing was they uh, before the show they had like a Guitar Hero thing set up and people playing Guitar Hero, and then they selected a guy who was really really good out of the audience who was playing the Guitar Hero before the game. So he came up on stage, and then they picked a song that is not like on any of the regular games. It's like a special downloaded song. It's by the Foo Fighters called The Pretenders or something like that, and it's supposed to be pretty really hard. And the host guy, he said if you get it to win the prize, which is like $1,000 credit on like the Video Games Live website to buy like soundtracks and stuff. If you get over 500,000 on hard, you'll win. And then the guy, I know his surname was Halo, Hallo, and I forgot his first name. I'm just gonna call him Kelter. I'm not sure. I think I started with the K, but I'm not sure exactly. But he was amazing, and this guy, he said, "No, I want to do it on expert." He goes hard. He didn't. He said, "No, I'm not doing it on hard. I want to do it on expert." And then the guy was like, "Oh my god." He goes, "Well, you basically know you're gonna have to get it almost perfect to get the high score." And then and he did it. Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. It was so exciting. Imagine that, the pressure. I mean, I don't know. He just nailed it. He nailed it in front of everybody for all the pressure, and like he didn't miss a single beat. It's nuts. How amazing is that? It was incredible to watch, and people were cheering at the end, like they were clapping, and then he got like I don't know how many notes, like 600 or more in a row, and then he got past the score. Ah, and he did it. It was I witnessed in front of my very eyes one of the most epic things I've seen someone do. Like it was just, and he was so like it was amazing. Like you just had to be there to see it. It was nuts how awesome it was. Everyone's watching and really really good. Probably the most impressive Guitar Hero performance I've ever seen. Yeah, so that was it. So I had such a good time. It was fun. I went with my sister Lisa, and we had a great time. And her friends were also there, like her friends like from high school, like Lynn and Vincent and a whole bunch of others. So it was fun hanging out with them as well. So it was really really cool. Basically, an awesome night. I loved it. Oh, Turbo Outrun, other songs like that. Uh, I love video game music, computer game music, and I got to see it performed. I've always wanted to do this, so I got to do it, and so I'm really, really glad I went. So if you love video game music or computer game music, I would recommend Video Games Live. Like I would definitely recommend it. You'll enjoy it. I think it's love. It's the you can tell when people do something because they love it. You can tell, and these people who make this Video Games Live, they love it. They love it. Like seriously, you can just tell. Um, yeah, I would go again. Definitely go again. So I think that's all I want to say. I had an awesome night, and thank you to the people who make video games live. Yeah.